What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode here on the Piscifun YouTube channel. We are on the road once again to a fishing destination. It is the middle of summer. Some say the dog days of summer. Fishing can get pretty tough. It's not like spring and fall where you can catch big fish in abundance most often. So today we're gonna go out and we're gonna chase some big crappies. And we're gonna show you guys what we like to use, how we like to catch them, and also kind of where we're looking for these fish this time of year. So hopefully when you get done watching this video, you will be able to go out now in the middle of summer and catch some nice big old slab crappies. So we will get with you guys once we get to the lake here. We got about a 45-minute ride. We will get back with you when we get on the water. Alright guys, so we made it out here to the lake, just pulled up to the spot that we're going to try here. Essentially throwing small little tiny swim baits. So once I pick my rod up here, get the GoPro going, I will show you guys what that looks like. But we're going to throw the live scope in, do a little bit of searching, see what we can find. So where you're going to find fish right now really depends on the body of water that you're on. Here I found a crib that's kind of out in 14 feet of water. There's a good chance this time of the year that there'll be some kind of panfish hanging on this. Whether or not they're the ones we're looking for, not 100% sure. There's one right there. Definitely feels like a crappie. Yep, and there's a crappie. So that crappie came off of that crib right there, sitting in about 15 feet of water. Here we go. First crappie of the day. Not a bad fish at all. They are not shy, guys. They will choke that swim bait down, no problem. Get that one back. Didn't plan on keeping any fish today. So when I'm working this bait, what I like to do is cast out just a little bit past that crib and let my bait kind of fall. And I'll kind of show you guys, if I can here on the camera, what I'm doing. So you can see my bait falling down right there on top, and I'm just going to kind of work it above it, let it fall, pop it, work it above it until I get a fish to eat. That one actually hit it on the fall, so it's a good thing. Those fish are fired up. Throw it back out here. Hopefully we'll find some bigger ones on here. It's the easiest way to have time to trigger a bite. Otherwise, if you cast too short, you'll be out of the strike zone by the time you really want to try to get that bite. Fortunately, these fish are very willing to bite. It doesn't seem like I have to do much other than get fairly close to this piece of structure, and they're all over the swim bait. There we go. Oh, that one came off. There we go, fish on. That one shot out of that crib. Another nice crappie. I think that's the biggest one so far, actually. Very nice fish. That one shot up. That was a hungry one. Beautiful fish. Oh, there was like 5 of them that time. A whole pile of them came out after it. Getting the swim bait. Super aggressive. That one hammered it. Wow. That one was hungry. There's 3 of them chasing it, and that one just came up and throttled it. So guys, just a little bit about the setup that I'm using here. You can see this is a Piscifun Illumix 1000. It's kind of covered in pollen. It was sitting on my boat deck. Pollen from the pine trees kind of got all over it. But nonetheless, the 1000, crazy smooth and an amazing drag when you're fighting bigger panfish. Eater size, anything. 1000 is perfect. And I'm just using a 7-foot light rod. I like the 7-foot lights for the swim baits and things like that. I'll do ultralight for my bobber fishing, but when I'm doing this, I like to have a little more backbone for the hook set with those little swim baits. Well, these sure would be good eaters. They're really getting that swim bait now. Earlier they were kind of nipping at the tail a lot, but now they're choking it. I mean, that swim bait is gone. Jig head is barely sticking out. This one definitely doesn't seem to have as many fish on it, that's for sure. There might be a few, but not anything like that one crib that was on that break on the other side here. That one popped it right on the drop. Definitely some crappies on this one too, just not quite as many as that other one. And these fish are definitely holding a lot deeper in the crib than the other one. So the other one, they were kind of hanging around the edges of it, and this one, they are like buried down in it. Still can catch them, just makes it a little more challenging when there's not, you know, a bunch of aggressive fish at one time. Another nice Northwoods crappie there. Tell you what, a lot of people shy away from these bigger swim baits. Get that one back. A lot of people shy away from these bigger swim baits. You know, down south, a lot of crappie guys love big swim baits. But I noticed here up north, a lot of people throw little tiny 1-inch gulp minnows, which they work fine. Nothing wrong with those. But if you want to get some bigger bites out of the fish, switching it up to something a little bit bigger really helps eliminate some of those, you know, 9-inch crappies that you're catching. There's a nice crappie. Very nice fish. There you guys go. Nice one. Alright, there's a lot more fish here than I thought there was. They're getting a little fired up now. And we're getting some bigger size out of here now. So that time I kind of let my swim bait really drop into that crib a little more. And as you can see, that yielded a much larger crappie getting down into that structure a little bit. And that one was hungry. I mean, that swim bait is, the head is an inch back in its mouth. and it's a 2-inch swim bait. So that fish just absolutely destroyed that bait. Well guys, that is a wrap for today's video. Went out and spent probably about 3 hours total on the water, poking around, trying to figure out where these crappies were. I actually haven't been on that body of water since very early spring, so I really didn't even know where to start. So I kind of just went off looking on weed edges and then ended up finding them sitting on kind of offshore cribs or structure. So I found some on breaks on cribs, and I found some on a hump on cribs as well. And they were ready to eat. I mean, that little 2-inch swim bait was golden. Like I said, I had that paired up with a 7-foot light and a Piscifun Lumix 1000. And that is just the perfect setup to just slowly crawl that swim bait. And one thing that I noticed that was a common factor is when I killed that bait, when I let it kind of fall vertically, that was when they really got fired up and they really wanted